Please remember the president's last remarks, that we are a great democracy. The United States is a great democracy. And I'm airing what I'm airing because we are, in fact, a democracy. And if the press were straight and honest and forthright and tough, we would be a far greater nation. We would be a far greater when we don't have the CNNs of the world who are corrupt people. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yep.
Welcome to a special edition of The Lead, White House in Crisis. And you just saw there a president in clear crisis. I'm Jake Tapper. We have some breaking news. President Trump just now said that he will cooperate with House Democrats in their impeachment inquiry. They are warning the White House they will subpoena the White House for documents on Friday. We should note that the president also called the impeachment inquiry the greatest hoax, and he called it a fraudulent crime. So you can take his expression of willingness to cooperate as you will. President Trump also just accused Congressman Adam Schiff, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, a Democrat from California, of helping to write the whistleblower complaint. We should point out that one of the whistleblower's lawyers who I just contacted, I just asked him, is there any truth that Schiff or the committee helped the whistleblower write the complaint in any way? And the lawyer said, quote, absolutely not. That was a response to a New York Times story on how the whistleblower had reached out to Congressman Schiff before filing the complaint.
Well, the whistleblower was very inaccurate. The whistleblower started this whole thing by writing a report on the conversation I had with the president of Ukraine. And the conversation was perfect. It couldn't have been nicer. I saw Rick Scott. I saw many of the senators talking about it, many of the congressmen talking about it. Not a thing wrong. Unless you heard the Adam Schiff version where he made up my conversation. He actually made it up. It should be criminal. It should be treasonous. He made it up, every word of it, made up, and read to Congress as though I said it. And I'll tell you what, he should be forced to resign from Congress. Adam Schiff, he's a lowlife. He should be forced to resign. He took a perfect conversation, realized he couldn't read it to Congress because it was perfect. It was a very nice conversation. I knew many people were on the phone. Not only were many people on the phone, we had stenographers on the phone taking it down word for word. He took that conversation, which was perfect. He said, I can't read this. So he made up a conversation and he reported it and said it to Congress and to the American people. And it was horrible what he said. And that was supposed to be coming from me, but it was all fabricated. He should resign from office in disgrace. And frankly, they should look at him for treason because he is making up the words of the President of the United States. Not only words, but the meaning, and it's a disgrace. It should not be allowed to happen.
According to the FAA, a vintage plane crashed while trying to land at Bradley International Airport in Connecticut. Just look at that. CNN's Alexandra Field is following all of this for us. She's here now. Alex, what are you learning about this?
Still very much a breaking situation, Kate. We can see those black plumes of smoke shooting out of the aircraft at the airport as it landed. 6 people injured, at least taken to hospitals. We don't know how many people were on board. We don't know the extent of the injuries. The investigation into the cause of the crash now being launched with state agencies and first responders on scene. This is a World War II B-17 vintage aircraft. It was at the airport as part of a Wings of Freedom tour, which is an experience that allows people, civilians, to purchase experiences on board these aircrafts. Obviously, a tragic ending to this flight. We will find out what prompted this and the status of those who were injured.
In Santa Cruz County, neighbors at Pleasure Point are in disbelief.
You know, this neighborhood's great, and it's like right here on the point where people surf, and a pretty busy area.
The 3,000 block of Pleasure Point Road was sectioned off throughout the day following a home invasion turned kidnapping. Sheriff's deputies responded around 3 o'clock this morning after receiving a 911 call from someone inside the home of Bay Area tech executive Tashar Atre.
It's a pretty secluded, remote area, SoCal San Jose Road. It kind of parallels Highway 17, and it's up near the summit.
The Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Office says they believe Atre was forced into a white BMW SUV belonging to his girlfriend, which left the scene. The investigation led detectives to the same vehicle hours later around 10 o'clock in the Upper Meadow Ranch area off SoCal San Jose Road. A deceased body was found nearby, but officials say that person has not been identified.
A lot of moving parts right now. Detectives are working tirelessly. They have been since we got that call at 3 o'clock this morning.
Sheriff's deputies spent the afternoon securing the second crime scene to continue their investigation. For now, they say it's likely that the 50-year-old kidnapping victim was targeted. Anyone with information on the case is asked to call the sheriff's office.
It's pretty bizarre that a serious crime like this would happen around here.
The State Department's government watchdog heads to Capitol Hill after making an urgent and highly unusual request to brief several House and Senate committees. They'll meet with the State Department Inspector General. Sources tell CNN the secure meeting between senior committee staff and the State Department Inspector General is connected to documents on Ukraine.
The IG's request came just an hour after Secretary of State Mike Pompeo accused House Democrats of, quote, intimidating and bullying State Department officials by calling them in for depositions. Pompeo saying his officials would not have had time to prepare. All of this related to the whistleblower complaint accusing the president of pressing Ukraine to investigate his potential 2020 rival Joe Biden and his son. There is no evidence of wrongdoing by Joe Biden or Hunter Biden. CNN's Kylie Atwood has more on these stunning developments.
Good morning, Christine and Dave. So an urgent request coming from the State Department Inspector General to speak with congressional aides. They will be meeting with them today. And we don't know many specifics, however, of what they're going to discuss. But the Inspector General, according to an aide on the Hill, said that they were coming because they had received documents from the legal advisor at the State Department. Now, we should note that the congressional aide also described this request to me as highly unusual, really not laying out many details of what the Inspector General wanted to talk to Congress about. But it came just an hour after Secretary Pompeo called out House Democrats for what he said was bullying State Department officials. He said that they weren't following procedure that would be traditional for those who they had asked to come forth to Congress and talk to them about Ukraine. But the key question here is, what does the State Department Inspector General have that's new, and how, if at all, does it impact this impeachment inquiry that is ongoing in Congress?